Hi, everyone. Welcome to Appliance Advisors. I'm Francesco, joined as always by Dennis. Today, we're going to talk about heat pump versus traditional dryers. And really with traditional dryers, more like your vented dryer, vented to the outside versus what heat pump, not necessarily a newer technology, but definitely something that's becoming a lot more popular now.
Yeah, so a classic heated dryer, as you know, electric element, generally or gas element. It's just constantly blowing that heated air, constantly heating the air for the 50 minutes, 60 minutes that it takes, blowing it across the close and then off the back of your vents. And it's just continual heat, right? Where what heat pump does is obviously very different. It's been out forever. You see it in heating systems. It's in cars, actually. There's all sorts of different technologies for it. But basically, lack of a better word, there's two coils on the bottom. It heats up warm air, pushes it across the coil till it hits the cold air coil. There's a cold air coil. Yep. Naturally, warm meets cold, condensation occurs. It heats up that kind of the warm heats that water that gets immediately pulled into those coils, because the hot air only has that to do. It's going to attract to the cold. That creates condensation, drips down through. That water now is warmed. It's then pushed over to a pump or another heating machine that actually then boosts that water very, very, very hot. That then blows and comes across the coils and it returns. It never leaves the machine. It's never blowing it out of the machine like the other. It's taking that warm, pulling that air down, heating it more, bringing it up, bringing out warm air. So it's continually cycling. Now, through that, there is condensation that does happen. Okay, naturally, we've talked about the fact when the warm meets cold, there's going to be some water there. And that comes out one of a couple of ways. Most machines that are heat pump dryers either have a reservoir in the front that literally, almost like in a washing machine where front load washer where you'd pull it out and you'd put your detergent. Yeah. They have that same kind of concept. You push it out and it's a reservoir. That reservoir will hold about 2 washes on a running average. Some machines a little more, some less. But 2 running cycles of drying before you then can take it out, empty it in your sink. Now, most times people have what we call a standpipe, or that pipe behind the washing machine that has your cold water and everything that water pushes down to. And you can take the tube, there's a tube that it comes with, and you can stick it down that longer stand tube, and it'll just drain out, so you don't have to use that reservoir, but it's there for folks that might have a challenge.
So what are the benefits of it? So certainly you talked about, obviously, when it's blow continuously in a traditional vented dryer, always blowing that air in, it's going to use a little bit.
It's a dryer thing. But you had a hair dryer on high for 50, 60 minutes trying to heat it. Yeah. It just, and not trapping air, you're just pushing it across, right? Yep. Versus keeping it trapped. So it's about 50 to 60% energy saving on the running average. And, electric dryers are the majority of what is sold today. And it's still what we recommend, for ease of disconnect, reconnect, serviceability, all those things. But so heat pumps only going to continue to grow. And it's just like, we've done other episodes recently on induction. And heat pump reminds me in the appliance space of what we talked about induction 8, 9, 10 years ago. We've seen in the last 3 years, more technology, more push, more coming across more product lines of laundry, not just a few, but full size, 110 power, 220 power, like just coming across multiple levels, where heat pump is just becoming more and more mainstream. And I think when we talk about it in 3 years from now, it's going to be like induction, that it's all across every price point. You're not paying for it because the costs are continuing to come down. In addition, you're saving in your energy. Plus, so many homes today have these HERS ratings and they have to meet all these installation codes, that a penetration in the house is a penetration to the outside of the house. So by using heat pump, you no longer have to have a pipe that goes out. So it's an easier install. It opens up where you can put laundry in a home. It's cheaper to build with or to make a room. So there's a lot of benefits to it.
Way more energy efficient, like you said. And, so now if I'm someone that historically has used a vented dryer and now I'm going to switch to a heat pump dryer, what about performance or length of drying specifically?
So you have a couple of things to think about there. It does tend to take slightly longer. Slight. We've posted videos all across the channel again, where we actually are showing live demos between a vented and a heat pump or multiple heat pumps and comparing which one's better. Generally, it could be 10% more time. It's come a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the other thing that people just need to think about is lint. Yeah. Okay. So traditionally, if in my house, might be lucky, my son, not so much, that they take that lint trap out and they actually take the lint away. It does tend to be, it's very important in a heat pump machine that you have periodic maintenance. Now on the newer, and when I say that, someone's going to trip me up. There's some newer all-in-ones that actually scrape this lint, and there's really, wash it off, that they have a lint screen, and it's very minimal maintenance, and it's much easier to access.
Definitely.
But some of the machines, a lot of the compact machines particularly, they have a coil. Generally, it's in the bottom left of the machine. You have to open a little trap door, and in there is a coil. Look, compressor coil. Look very similar to like a refrigerator compressor coil that you have to kind of scrape with a fine, like loose brush, or vacuum out with if you had a handheld vacuum, and get some of that lint off that compressor. If you're not doing that, that machine is basically suffocating in yourself. They recommend you do it every 3 to 6 months. I think it's a good routine habit to do it quarterly. It's not an everyday thing. You still will have a lint trap in the door that you have to remove, but anything that gets past that lint trap, remember again, because it's not pushing it anywhere. It's not pushing any of that lint outside your house. And for those of you that have vented dryers, just go outside today. Look at that vent cap. Generally has a little bird screen on it, or a net, insect screen on it. Look at it. It has lint on it, because that lint today is being pushed outside of your house. Well, if there's no vent, where's it going? It's getting past the lint filter, and now it's getting down into the machine. So the training there is empty your lint filter regularly, and make sure if it does have one of those types of condensers down in that corner, that you're routinely maintaining it, just to kind of keep it at peak performance.
And really, like you said, historically, you've really seen these heat pumps in kind of those smaller, compact European laundry, like a Miele, a Bosch, something like that. But now you're definitely starting to see that more bigger, full-size laundry. Really, LG has had that with standalone dryers and their wash towers. Now they have a heat pump version. So it's something that, like you said, like induction years and years ago, something you're starting to see more and more become more mainstream, and really in more popular products too. So
absolutely, across the board. Good consideration.
Go
to your local store, check it out.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for appliance tips and updates from Yale Appliance.
Your feedback is what shapes our series. Like what you saw, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
Stay informed and inspired on all your appliance needs. This is Appliance Advisors signing off.